30 years ago, audiences saw and heard for the first time this. Then 5 years ago, this. The most successful live-action adaptation in Disney history was born. And now, this. Mufasa, both a sequel and a prequel in a way, ready to be seen on the biggest screens possible.
There will be one Lion King.
Get ready on your screens as we take a deep dive with the cast and crew and take a look. I can't wait. I've been waiting for this. I love the original. I love the sequel. I love its sequel. I love the prequel or whatever this is. Welcome to Take a Look. My good friend, comedian Steph Sanders. My name is Marcus Allen. Today, it's all about Mufasa.
All about it. You look great in your Serengeti outfit.
Thank you. I tell you, this is like, if LL Bean went on an African safari. It's the best I could do. You look good in your T-shirt safari.
I'm looking, just my Minnesota Jones look. Not Indiana Jones, but Minnesota Jones.
That'll work. All right, so what did Lion King, the original, when it hit in 1994, how did it hit you?
You know, it's funny. We were listening to that song. I still get chills from that song and the opening. Lion King was epic. That's what I kind of judge everything in my life after and before.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And shout out James Earl Jones, the foundation upon which it was built.
Man.
All right, so today we're going to go behind the scenes with the cast and crew. One thing that makes this movie exceptional, the music. You know, if it's a Disney musical, they better bring it. And if you're going to bring it, Lin-Manuel Miranda, right?
No better of a person to do it. I was just like so excited.
People always go, who do you really get geeked out to talk to? When I think about the lore and the legacy that is this, culturally, what it meant with the original, and then 5 years ago when the live action movie came out, what that meant, and now Mufasa bringing it home with both a sequel and a prequel, we'll explain. And Lin-Manuel Miranda also geeked out about it, and I was geeked out to talk to him about being geeked out about it. Take a look. All right, I can't contain myself. I've got a cross in front of this beautiful logo to shake the hand of humble graceness. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Congratulations on everything.
Thank you.
I can't imagine what it would be like to be you because you always set the bar a little bit higher, a little bit higher. Do you wake up in feverish fits in the middle of the night going, I'm not going to be able to top myself?
No, I don't. You can't think of it that way. That way lies madness. You can only think, what am I going to learn from on this project?
Right.
I mean, ever since Hamilton, that's been sort of my modus operandi, was like, I'm going to learn a lot working with Barry Jenkins. I'm going to learn a lot working with Lebo M. And weirdly, Disney's been kind of my passport.
Right.
You know, all my musicals take place in New York. I love New York so much. But then with Disney, I get to go to the Pacific Islands. I get to go to Colombia. I get to go to Africa. And so it's been a joy.
Yeah, when we talk about, this and going to the Pride Land, the homeland, and going back to your roots specifically, for you, the way you were raised, did it help out? Because you talk about dipping out of New York. You were raised in New York, but your parents made it a point to send you back to the homeland at least once a month to Puerto Rico.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's one of the wonderful things about this movie is it's really about found family. And it's about, when your parents are from somewhere else, you kind of go, okay, I'm not 100% from here, but I'm not 100% from there, and I have to figure out my place in the world. And I think all the characters in Mufasa are going through a version of that. Of course, Mufasa is uprooted from where he was born, but he finds family and he finds home with these fellow travelers, and that's really beautiful.
You mentioned pretty much every plot line except sibling rivalry. There's a little bit of that going on. And I wonder, your writing process, when you're watching the movie, when do you decide, okay, this is where we're going to dip in? A song begins is inspired here.
I have to credit Jeff Nathanson. He wrote an incredible screenplay that actually made space for those moments. And the big moment of sibling rivalry at the beginning of the movie, it's called I Always Wanted a Brother, and it was a line of dialogue. I think his temp title for the song was Brother Trouble. But I was like, no, this is the title of your song. Because when Taka throws that race so that he could gain a brother, it was like the first lump in my throat I got reading the script. I was like, that's the song. That's actually the song.
That's awesome.
And so it was a joy.
You actually led me right into the whole reason why I set up that. So having a sister, is she a little offended that you're writing a song, I Always Wanted a Brother?
No, I worked out all my sister issues on Encanto. I gave her surface pressure and gave her flowers for being the oldest sibling and carrying so much burden for the rest of us.
Right.
With this, I have a 6-year-old and 10-year-old boy in my house. I have 2 little boys who drive each other crazy, who adore each other. So for inspiration, I didn't have to look any further than my apartment.
Well, it's amazing. Everything you put into it. Like I always tell you when I talk to you, I can't wait to see what you do next.
Thank you so much.
It's so beautiful out here. Could I just, before I die, I say that I serenaded Lin-Manuel Miranda? Could
Go
I sing
for
you a
it.
little something? And I don't sing. In this room, we only talk about Lin-Manuel Miranda. That's all I got.
That's beautiful.
You're beautiful.
You made my morning. Thank you so much. Great to see you.
Or are you busting my chucks?
What were you doing?
I got practically a standing ovation from Lin-Manuel Miranda.
You probably got a leaving ovation. That was.
It's true.
You're not going to be at the next Hamilton.
It's funny, you've never done those interviews, but security's like standing at all the ports. When I started doing that, they started standing like, we got somebody going rogue. He's going off script.
Yes.
The song I was trying to sing, of course, was We Don't Talk About Bruno.
Yes.
But I did never mind that. Let's stick to the subject. Excited for some more Mufasa?
I'm excited for everything Mufasa.
Who are you more, Camp Timon or Camp Pumbaa?
Pumbaa.
All right, coming
Yeah.
up, you get both of that. Billy Eichner and Seth Rogen, the aforementioned Pumbaa, next. Oh, not surrender. I don't know the words. All right,
Yeah.
hey, welcome back. It's our Mufasa Lion King special. Is it a prequel? Is it a sequel? It's a little bit of both. Steph Sanders, the song that I just tried to sing, and my apologies culturally and in every other way for butchering it. Do you know the lyrics?
No.
I just it's Nas, and it's
Yeah,
essentially
I know.
translated means "Here comes the lion."
Right.
All right, so here comes Mufasa, the sequel to one of the biggest movies in Disney adaptation history, if
Yeah.
not the biggest.
Yeah, the biggest for me. Like I said, this movie did it all for me as far as my standpoint in life. Like '94 to all the movies after, that's
Yeah.
what I judge my life on.
Yeah, this movie is a love story, a love triangle, a father-son story, a family story. But in between all that, you got to break it up with something a little bit lighter. Bring on Timon and
Bring
Pumbaa.
on Timon and Pumbaa.
That's
That's
my
boy.
favorite thing about the 2D, my favorite thing about the last one, and my favorite thing about this one. You're Team Timon.
Yeah.
So that, of course, would be Seth Rogen. I like Pumbaa. And that, Timon is Billy Eichner. Seth Rogen
Yes.
is Pumbaa.
Yeah.
Thank goodness I figured it out when I sat down with him. Take a look.
Bringing these characters back to life again, with great power comes great responsibility. Like, why are you the right guy to continue Timon's journey?
I certainly have a great time doing it. It's a huge honor. It's super fun. We get to record together, which is pretty unusual for these types of movies where people usually record the voices separately. So it's being part of a great comedy duo, and that's really fun. We improvise so much. So yeah, I'll do it forever if they want me. They won't. But
They won't.
Shakespeare had once said that with every role, it becomes a part of you forever. What part of Pumbaa is with you forever?
I don't think Pumbaa is a part of me forever. I mean, I do think that, I think we are well cast. I think it does build off our inherent personalities and comedic personas more than anything. And Pumbaa is very much kind of, a wide-eyed innocent who is fascinated and confused by many things, which is a trait that many have described me as.
And it's right to aspire to try to
Yes.
keep alive in you forever.
Exactly.
You brought up a good point. The two of you recorded together so often. You're isolated in a booth, but because you two are together, so much magic can happen. With that said, is there something that you remember happening in the booth that you thought, this is never going to make it in the movie?
And it did.
Oh,
More
yeah?
so that.
pretty much everything that's in the movie that we
Yeah,
ad-libbed.
there's so many
Yeah.
jokes that are, kind of meta and kind of a little bit more adult than I would have expected. And when I was watching the movie, I was like, oh my God, they use so much of this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a moment, and again, you've only seen it once, and by the way, it's a really good movie. You guys
Yeah.
should see it again and again. Is there a moment that you are most looking forward to, or that you enjoyed the most?
I just really want to see it with an audience, which
Me
we
too.
haven't seen it with an audience
Yeah.
yet. We both watched it alone.
Yes. and as people who desperately just want to get laughs for the jokes,
Yeah,
they make,
exactly.
seeing it with an audience
I'm gonna
is
need
the
that.
only way to really do that.
Yeah,
So,
I'm gonna need that.
I desperately need it. Yeah.
You will not be disappointed. You guys, this movie is absolutely perfection.
Thank
Great.
you.
With that said, I do have some notes.
That's
your line! Your line! Gentlemen, good to
Thanks
see
so
you.
much.
There, it's one of my favorite lines from the movie. Timon lands it. I would love Timon and Pumbaa to babysit my kids. My kids would be better for it.
Yeah,
You got
mine would
5
be.
kids. How about
Yes.
yours?
I would love that. I need them to babysit Yeah.
Oh man, Timon and Pumbaa. That first movie. Do you remember the song in the first movie?
I
the
think
the
I
big
do.
Big Pig song.
If you're hungry for a hunk of fat and juicy meat,
Try my friend Timba here. He's a juicy treat.
come on down and dine on this tasty swine.
All you got to do is stand in line.
Yep.
Are you aching
Yep.
for some bacon?
Yep.
He's a big pig.
Hey, oi.
You can be a big pig too.
Oi.
That's what I'm talking about. All right. We butchered it, so we're going to go back and watch that on our dirty VHS tape during the break. When we come back, the director of Mufasa interviewed in a super cool way by one of the other crew members of the film. What crew member? You know him. You'll find out next. Hey, welcome back. Hope you are doing awesome. Men and women and everyone serving the U.S. all over the world. Thank you for watching on AFN. I'm Marcus Allen. This, of course, is the world famous Steph Sanders, and we are talking about
Mufasa.
The Lion King. Sequel, prequel, all in one. You'll have to see it to figure out exactly how that works. The movie is brilliant and breathtaking, and though animated, is directed every single way a live action movie would. Every department, lighting, sound, all of that comes together for this.
Fantastic. I'm amazed at this one. I'm amazed at the last one. I'm amazed. They get even more amazing, and I love it.
When I was talking to Lin-Manuel Miranda, I'm not dropping names. If you've just tuned in, I did that a minute ago. He got up after the interview. I said, "Where are you going?" He goes, "Oh, we're going to a soundstage. I'm interviewing Barry Jenkins." And I said, "You're doing that interview when I have access to it?" He said, "Yes, it's for the electronic press kit, dummy. It's yours for the taking." Would you rather me interview the director or hear Lin-Manuel Miranda interview the director?
Take a look.
The Lion King is already a genre of music, rooted in African rhythms. And then obviously Lebo M's voice is synonymous with Lion King. That's the first voice you hear in the 1994 original. It's the first voice you hear in this film.
I read the script and I just saw so many different things that I'd done in my previous work. The relationship between the brothers, the family dynamics.
Find your place in the circle of life.
I was like, oh, I have to do this. What about you, my friend? What was your approach to writing the songs for Mufasa?
It's very rare when you read a script and go, a song goes here, a song goes here, a song goes here.
When I am king.
Most of the inspirations for the lyrics are there in that script.
I have a secret, Mufasa. I always wanted a brother. I always wanted a brother.
I always wanted a brother. That was the line that made me lean in.
I always wanted a brother. I always wanted a brother just like you.
We were thinking there might be a song there, and it was called like Brother Trouble.
Yes, it was called Brother Trouble.
And you were like, no, it's I always wanted a brother.
Yes.
This song is about him wanting a brother. I was like, oh, damn, that's great. What was the most difficult song to write?
Milele was a really tough song.
Really? I'm surprised to hear that.
Beyond the horizon.
Milele swells and soars.
Calling.
Sort of like soaring is difficult.
Milele.
That's the thing that Disney does so well. So it was daunting.
That's my favorite song in that film, by the way.
I'm so glad.
Which is crazy.
The legacy of Lion King is so intimidating. It's also like Elton John, Lebo M, Beyonce. That's a good hang. Like, I want to be in that hang.
Exactly.
Barry Jenkins joins a long line of Academy Award-winning directors directing this product. Wait till you see it. It shows. His signature's on
Barry
it.
Jenkins, yeah.
Are you crying? I'm not crying. You're
I'm
crying.
not crying.
Are you tearing up?
I almost cried in the beginning, though.
It swelled a little bit. The music was working on me. That's how they do it.
Yeah.
All right. This movie, we saved the best for last. The new voice of Mufasa. Coming up in a moment. Mufasa, Scar, and Sarabi. Who are these people? Can't wait for you to get to know them. Next. Hey, welcome back. Thanks for hanging out with us on the final moments of Take a Look. If you're just tuning in, you got a great time to join us because we saved the best for last. And by that, I don't just mean Steph Sanders and me, Marcus Allen. All right, where would Mufasa be without Mufasa? Can you imagine the pressure it must be to join where James Earl Jones left off? Rest in peace.
Yeah. Crazy. And you know what's even more interesting is that both of these young men were born in 1994 when the original came out. So I know it makes
that's
you feel
right.
old.
Aaron, who plays Mufasa, Kelvin, who will become Scar. I don't think we're plot spoiling at this point. 1994.
1994.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah.
I caught up with them as well as Tiffany to talk about Sarabi, Scar, although I think we are kind of plot spoiling, and Mufasa. Take a look.
Nice to see all of you.
Yes,
You
sir.
too.
How you doing?
All right. Full transparency. What's on my mind? I just walked in and like the lunch order was taking place. I subscribe to Men's Health, and so I read what this guy says religiously to see what he's doing. And I'm waiting to see if he's ordering like 12 cheeseburgers, 2 malts, and some tater tots. So fill me in. What's he having for lunch?
I'm glad that I did the right thing here while you were present and
I wasn't eavesdropping.
because I ordered a vegan Cobb salad and some grilled salmon. You got a little peek backstage.
But I didn't. I wasn't trying to eavesdrop. Anyway, hey, nice to see all 3 of you. So Tiffany, Calvin, Aaron. For the people who might not know who's who, shout out, introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Aaron Pierre and I portray Mufasa.
Hey, I'm Kelvin Harrison Jr. and I play Taka, aka Scar.
And I'm Tiffany Boone and I play Sarabi.
Woo! Awesomely, by the way. I love this movie so much. I can't begin to tell you how much. And a movie like this is going to touch everybody for different reasons. For me, like I love the love triangle. If you think about it, this movie is kind of Challengers. If you think about it.
You're gonna set him off. You're gonna set him off.
Whoa.
Challengers.
Challengers. Interesting point of view.
Yeah.
I think we.
Well, I think I know who she would be, but between you. Anyway, I tell my kids on this subject, life is very complicated, and you see that in this movie.
Yes, you do.
For each of you, what's the moment in the script that really first spoke to you, or said, "I love it. They've got it right. This is the journey told well."
Yeah, I think that's you just made a really beautiful point there, and that is one of the first things that I said to Barry after watching the film. The film isn't didactic, and the film isn't patronizing to young people, and in it not being patronizing to young people, the result is grown folks can also engage with it and enjoy it. And I think you're right. One of the things it engages with and wrestles with is the complexities and the nuances of navigating personal relationships and how that can play out. So I think that's a really beautiful point, yeah.
Absolutely. What did you take away originally?
For me, I just was really in love with the brother story and like how open and sweet and kind Taka was and how much they wanted to just be there for each other. I just didn't know that was a take, and truthfully, I have twin sisters and I love them so much. They're my favorite people on the planet, but I also wanted a brother. And so that was like a really cool thing for me to be able to articulate in a movie and experience, and then be able to befriend this guy.
Right.
So it's been cool, yeah.
Yeah, for me, when I realized that it's like, we have the spirit of the original 1994 Lion King is We Go Together, the song. Like when I that part of the film and hearing the song, I was like, this is like Hakuna Matata. This is, you know what I mean, the community, the joyfulness. That's when I was like, okay, right, we're making the Lion King.
Yeah.
You know?
And you talk about sacred ground because this movie is so important culturally, so important for the young people that are now adults that grew up with it like yourselves. So was there a little duress thinking, I better get this right? I mean, you're standing on the foundation of James Earl Jones.
My goodness. I mean, as you know, James Earl Jones is one of my greatest inspirations. He's a hero of mine. He's a hero of many. Yes, in this context and even beyond that, he's always been such a huge inspiration for me, and I've been greatly inspired by his artistry, his filmography, his theater work, his voice work, and I was very nervous to embark on this journey and attempt to contribute in some small way to his legacy, but hopefully he would be proud, and hopefully I served him and served the character that he originated and that we all love.
And for you, this movie makes me proud because...
This movie makes me proud because I just think there's so many incredible artists that got to be a part of a big legacy of incredible artists, and I just think that Disney does things so classy, and we had a good time making it backstage, and we laughed a lot, and there's a lot of joy in it, and I think it's gonna be great for Christmas
and beyond.
Yeah.
I'm proud of this movie because I think Barry does a beautiful job of giving us the backstory of these characters that we love for 30 years. Why did we love to hate Scar so much? How did he get to be so delicious? Sure. Why, when Mufasa died, did it break our hearts so much? Why are these characters so interesting? And I think Barry really introduced us to the beautiful backstory for all of these lions. and baboons and
Birds.
birds.
Everything. Congratulations, you guys. I wish I had something more profound to say except Hakuna Matata.
Hakuna Matata. Thank you.
See, look, to this day, everybody lights up when you say Hakuna Matata. I have to be honest with you. During that interview, Tiffany was awesome. I had difficulty keeping the other two leads straight. Want to know why?
I think I know why.
Why?
Well, Aaron Pierre is British. Kelvin Harrison Jr. is American.
Yes.
And for the movie, they had to fake each other's countrymen's accents.
They're even flipping accents on me. So then when you're interviewing, you go, wait a minute, you got the English accent, but you're not Scar.
Right.
Mine about to explode.
Yeah.
Also, let's go back to Aaron for a minute. I mean, you're a pretty fit guy. Aaron, I subscribe to Men's Fitness, and he's like the guy in the magazine right now, talking about how lean he looks, right? Yeah. And then he's like, the assistant came by and said, I got to get your lunch order. What would you like? And so I'm leaning in going, this guy who I just read 30 pages of him saying how clean he eats, let me hear him get a cheeseburger. Then he got a Cobb salad.
Oh, come on.
Is that too much trivia?
Yeah, well, no, I just wanted him to be like normal. I wanted to get
Exactly.
A quarter pounder with cheese.
He's in an animated movie. It doesn't matter what he looks like.
Right.
Those guys. And also, word on the set, he has the prettiest eyes of any human being that has
I
ever
was
existed.
mesmerized. I was almost.
All right. I feel the same way when I look into the eyes of Timon. All right. Timon and Pumbaa and the rest of the cast of Lion King Mufasa. See it on the biggest screen possible. Thanks for watching us on any screen. Steph, where do we find you on social media?
I am Steph Sanders everywhere. Barely tall enough tour as well.
I'm TV Marquez Allen on Instagram. Have a good one. See you next time. Hakuna Matata!
What